Looking good, Italian Job.
Feeling good, Tommy. Boy, it looks like you are rocking a Go Ruck shirt today. Not an official sponsor, but you and I are big fans of the Go Ruck, and we're both rocking the shirts today.
There's a reason they put you and I together in Podpack's universe, my friend, and I'm imagining it's because of our style and our dashing good looks. So.
Well, and we are super smart. I don't know if people know that, but we use words like super and smart in the same sentence.
I try to speak as monosyllabically as possible, but sometimes I'll throw in a word like super. So
check out the big brain on Tommy Boy.
Not just a hat rack, my friend.
I hear you, my friend. What's going on in your world?
We've got Q School tomorrow. This weekend. So when this drops, Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we will be knee deep in the AAR of Q School. We're going to get together for a cafeteria, pick it apart with the guys. And then we have two past Nantans, myself included in that mix. Wojo, our founding Nantan, and then Akron, our current Nantan. We're going to chop it up with the fellas a little bit, talk about where we came from, where we have our sights set, and why all of the stuff in between matters. So
awesome.
Probably my favorite thing that we do. What about you, man? What's going on in South Kakalaki?
Well, we just finished up Mental Battle Month. We're recording the day before, so you guys are getting a little piece of this before this thing goes live. So it's still technically March where we are in Yesterworld. And this is no joke. We don't have any fun, April Fool's Day jokes, being that it's going to be April 1st when it drops. But let me tell you a couple of things that are no joke. We did drop the newsletter this past Monday, and in there were some words about mental battle from the men themselves who shared stories. So I encourage you to check that out. If you're not part of our newsletter, you can sign in. You can join the newsletter subscription list on f3nation.com. If you don't even want to do that, just go to f3nation.com in the news, and you can read some of those articles that the men themselves wrote. Really encouraged to have these guys share their stories. So that was awesome. And another thing that was no joke, the heat last Saturday while we were running, or last Friday and Saturday while we were running the Palmetto 200, hot, man. And I was not prepared for the heat, because it's hard to plan for running in the heat when it's, in the 50s. I mean, right now it's pretty nice. It's 70 degrees outside, but when it was 85 degrees running in the heat of the day, that was no joke at all.
Yeah, you know what? And real quick, this is unprompted, but I'm going to take a quick moment. One of the Greensboro teams, F3 Greensboro teams, had a health scare, heat induced, and then uncovered other things that had been neglected for far too long. So, fellas, if you're listening to this ahead of whenever Men's Health Month is, I think it's June, perhaps, go get your physical, go get checked out, get a scan, get a screen. Get the old Jim Henson if you need to, but don't put those things off because they matter. And you'd rather be ahead of that curve than far behind it and try to catch up. Take care of yourself because people are counting on you to be there.
Now, absolutely. And speaking of counting on, I'm excited for our guest today because we're talking about the 43 feet ahead, which means the legacy of the young men who are going to take over in our place as we ride it into sunset and become walkers instead of runners. And so we have three young men who are joining us from F3 Blue Ridge, which is the Shenandoah Valley. If you've driven up 77, 81, that area, it's beautiful country up there. Slim Jim brought this to our attention about some 2.0 led convergent style workouts. And we've got a couple guests or three guests with them. We've got Red Rider, Nuno, and Spitball. So, Tommy Boy, I'm going to let you take this and jump right in and and see who you want to start with, because we've got some high impact men who are waiting to talk.
Yeah, we'll start with let's start with the most salt and pepper hair of the bunch, and we'll start with Slim Jim there. You're follically challenged, as am I. So, actually, I'm not bald. I'm just too tall for my hair. If I was 2 inches shorter, I'd have locks of love. So, Slim Jim, let's do this, man. Let's do a little name-a-rama, and then tell us how you got your name.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. It's our pleasure to be here. I'm excited to be here to present these guys. But I'm Slim Jim. My story comes from all the way back in college when I was courting my M. And she still married me, so that's a good news. I was raised a gentleman. So I was taking her back after an evening date and dropping her off. And of course, I was a broke college student at the time too. And lo and behold, I walked her up to the door. Hopefully, got that goodnight kiss. And when I got back, I realized I'd locked my keys in the car with less than an eighth of tank of gas.
Oh no!
So not only did I leave my keys in, this is before the days of cell phones. So I had to humbly go back to my girlfriend's door, knock on the door, and not only that, she had to pay for it. So of course the tow truck guy came and what do you use to get into the car?
Slim Jim, baby.
Slim Jim. I was kind of wondering if you were. Yeah, I was either wondering if you were a tow truck guy or if you were a Macho Man Randy Savage guy.
Well,
either way.
That's for sure. So I was raised in the '80s, so I'm like, oh yeah, I love the Macho Man and Macho Madness and all that kind of stuff. And so on my profile, you'll see I snap into it. So
there it is. There it
Snap
is.
into the spice. I dig it. So then, because you're in the same room with Triple the Excellence, let's let you introduce our shorties, and then we'll get into the conversation.
All right, I love it. Well, to my left is my own 2.0. I think of these two as just about as much. I've known them since they were in kindergarten, and now they're in middle school, and somehow they flashed on to the Hot Dads Club that we got going on up here in Blue Ridge, and we at first you try to get a 2.0 just come out, and like my older sons, they're like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. This is fun and everything. And if they just weren't so busy, they'd be here. But then these three have just latched on. They don't miss a Saturday. Doesn't matter what time it is. They're totally understand and get it from the standpoint of picking up the six. They will go back out when they finish faster because they're younger and don't have any joint problems, which is awesome.
I resemble that remark.
It's true and everything, but I love it. They come in and they get it, and I think that's what's so exciting about this. This is the reason I had to share it. And so to my left is Sam Hinshaw, and I'll let you introduce and then let y'all tell how you got your names.
So I'm Spitball. I'm a 2.0 of Slim Jim. So the way I got my name was I play trombone, and they have this thing on the end called a spit valve. But I also like sports, like any type of sports, anything with a ball in it, I'll play it basically. So I put it together. Spitball and baseball is also probably my favorite sport, and spitball was also a thing they used to do to get a grip on the ball back in like 1900s. So
way back then.
Wait, did you say back in the 1900s?
During the Depression.
Yeah, during the Depression era. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
Hey, Spitball, you have to do like 10 burpees now, dude. I'm kidding. Save them for Saturday and dish them out to the guys.
That's it.
All right, Spitball, well done, sir. Nuno, you're next, my friend.
I'm Nuno. So basically, I got my name because we were at F3, and I was supposed to say FNG during Namerama, but I said NNG, and so we thought new guy.
New guy. That's
the
good.
Newest of the new guys.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, actually, I think it was Spitball here. Like, what are you, the new guy? And we're like, you know how these names last, man. You just pick up on it. So
that's right. And Red Rider, lay it on us, dude.
I'm Ethan Hudson, and I am Red Rider. I got my name because my first ever BB gun was a Red Rider BB gun, and I really like hunting.
Outstanding.
Nice.
I'll give you bonus points if your BB gun had a compass in the stock.
No, it didn't.
Dang. All right.
Hey, Tommy Boy, there's a lot of folks who are listening and not watching. I would like to point out he has not shot his eye out. So
that's correct.
He's got a good thing going for him there.
Yeah, I would imagine because that would be the name as well. If you shot your eye out, you certainly would be Red Rider or, in worst case scenario, Cyclops. So I'm glad that you are Red Rider because that was your first BB gun and you're a hunter. So well done. Let's start from the top as far as how tall you guys are. Slim Jim, at least how tall you are while you're seated, if that makes sense. You said it a moment ago, you reached out via Slack, which was great. And I could tell, oftentimes we read texts or we read messages and we can't really gather the cadence and the tenor of the comment. I could tell that from the jump, you were a proud dad of what is about to happen in your region the day that this podcast drops. So why don't you walk us through it, and then we'll dive into the masterminds and pick their brains apart.
Gotcha. Well, it's one of those things. We've got some exciting things going on out here in Shenandoah Valley and the Blue Ridge, and I'll just not to do a tangent, but like it's all ages really. We've got some exciting things going on with our season guys as well, and we're just getting off the ground. But I love it's the F3 kind of idea. Just when I reached out to you all, I said I'm throwing the proverbial spaghetti against the wall, because it's see if it sticks, and that's what we're doing. And so we got these guys out, and the first thing, my first challenge as any dad is like the one thing I can say is I'm very happy. Spitball here does not stay inside all the time. He is outside almost all the time. He's very much like I was. My older two sons also, they love the outdoors as well and getting out and playing and whatnot. And so I was like, first I started working on getting them to come out, and they came out and they liked it. But little did I know, next thing I know, this one right here starts talking to all his buddies during lunch. I know you didn't even come first.
You have to drive me there.
I did, but then you liked it. So you all can talk about why you like it. I'd love to hear that too. But the thing is what we found is he started talking to him at lunch and stuff during the old lunch hour and or on the bus or whenever and in class and he brought him out. And here's the thing: a lot of times, let's face it, the 2.0s they come, they'll do it once. We get them out there and they do it once. They just kept coming back. And then when we got our Tuesday evening rush hour workout going on, which is Ironworks, they've been faithful to it. Unless they got like extracurriculars that sometimes interferes, but then they'll make it to the Saturday one at Appleseed and everything.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and see, Red Runner's like that was fun, and I think they just love the variety. I mean, that's the thing. But they're in there in the gloom with us, rain, shine, cold, doesn't matter. I mean, there's been times when I'm like, hey, it's 6:15, you're gonna make it. This one comes bounding downstairs, and I'm like, all right, we're picking up the rest of them. The 10-degree one. Yeah.
No, wait,
So
That's
I've got
awesome.
a question. I've got a question for you guys. I hear that there's a big convergence coming up on Saturday, and that these guys with a combined age of 37 years old, let that sink in a little bit, combined age of 37 years old are going to be leading that workout. So I want to ask you guys one by one. We'll start with Red Ryder. Red Ryder, what is your favorite exercise to call to make everybody join in and do? When you're the cue, what do you like to call?
Merkins.
You're a Merkin man. Are you just a standard? Do you like wide arm, diamond?
I like.
What's your favorite?
All of them.
All of them. All of them. I've got the same question for Nuno. What is your favorite exercise to call when you lead a workout?
Lunges.
Ooh, those are good.
Yeah.
Alternating
Never
lunges.
skip leg day.
Never skip leg day. By the way, make sure the next time you call them, make sure the guys are holding a coupon, like a cinder block or a weight plate of some sort. Same question for Spitball. What is your favorite exercise that you like to call out for the guys?
Ooh. Well, this one started to grow on me, but the one I usually like to go to is Imperial Walkers.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I've also the ones that started to grow on me are Bobby Hurley's.
That's a good one.
Ooh,
Little
the
jump,
Bobby Hurley.
little jump, slap the ground, hit that jump shot. I love it. Well, I don't want to leave Slim Jim out. I mean, it would feel like I'm leaving him out if I want to ask him, Slim Jim, what's your favorite exercise to call?
Geez, I wasn't expecting that one. Let's see.
The Michael Phelps.
Well, I do like Michael Phelps, but like I enjoy the warm ups. I think for me, it's just the variety. I mean, I know that's copping out, but like that's what I love about this is you come and every single week it's something different, and that's what I love. If I had one go-to exercise that I love though, I think I do kind of like the Imperial Walkers and the hillbilly. No, what is it?
The hillbilly walker.
Yeah, where are you going? Yeah.
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 Yep.
I surprised myself how flexible I am. That's what it is.
So I'll pitch this question to all three of you, young bucks, whoever wants to answer, or if you guys want to each take it upon yourself. What are you most excited about? Or let me back up one step further. What did you first think about when you had the opportunity to lead a workout together and a convergence on Saturday?
Good morning, go first? Sure. So when Canary, who's the site Q of AO Appleseed, which is where we're leading it on Saturday for the conversions, when he's just like, how about you guys do V3Q? And we're just like, okay. What do we do? So we sat with each other at lunch one day, and we're just like, we could do this. No, we could do this. One of our first ideas was American Ninja Warrior on a playground. Oh, I took it home. He just like, Slim Jim over here. He said, there's no way you're gonna get 60 guys to fit on a. Wait, no, it wasn't even a convergence. Announced as a convergence at that point. But there's no way you're gonna get those guys to fit on that little playground to do an American Ninja Warrior workout. And we're just like, back to the drawing board. So then we were racking our minds, and then Canary, I think we went a week, we still hadn't gotten our plan. He said, so for your workout on April 1st, and that light bulb went off in my head, about how it's April Fool's, right? That's when he was talking to us, that's when he told us about the convergence. But the light bulb went off in my head that we were going to do something with April Fool's, so it's going to be like, what's going to happen next? Like, it's going to be unpredictable workout is what we want to do.
Yeah, and
outstanding.
I think make us look like fools.
Yeah, we're going to make them look like fools.
You got to do the goofballs. Have you guys done goofballs?
Little worse.
There you go.
Little worse. No, it's a nice and easy workout. It's really workout here. We made a little like video yesterday and posted it on Slack. Yeah, about how it's gonna be a nice and easy workout, and then we just started maniacally laughing.
Good. Well, Nuno, I'm going to change it up just because that was a great explanation. Nuno, what's one thing you're nervous about and one thing that you're fired up about?
Well, one thing I'm nervous about is how many people are going to be there. So there's going to be like lots of people there. But one thing I'm fired up about is like what we're going to do there, like everything we're going to do there. Like it's going to be fun.
Yeah. You know, if you're having fun, then you're doing it right.
Amen to that. Amen. And then Spitball. I've got one for you as well.
Oh no, you missed Red Rider.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did start with Spitball, didn't I? Red Rider. Thank you. See, that's why I've got a dashing co-host, guys. Pick up the podcast 6 too. So tell me about when you sat down to plan all this. I know you guys were hashing it out over lunch period and probably after school, I imagine. What were you most focused on when it came to developing your workout plan?
So Sam comes to me after my third period. Spitball comes to me after my third period and says, why don't I grab Nunu and we'll go sit at a table and talk about what we'll do for our ideas. So we were sitting there with blank minds, just eating lunch. I said, well, we could use the parking garage that's at the Shenandoah University where we do our 3 Appleseed. We can't wait. No, we can't. This is going to air. And I said, why don't we, and Sam had the idea of calling it the Tower of Pain. No.
Yeah.
I wasn't Tower of Doom. No.
There you go. Either name works well.
I like them both.
First of having it on the town, I don't want to make them go that, like, wear them out that much. And then I come home and it's like, Red Rider, he wants to run up the tower. And then Slim Jim's just like, okay, do it.
That's right.
Okay, we're doing it. Let's go. So then next thing, Sam says, all right, Spitball says, why don't we sit together again at lunch? And he had the idea of, there's this like huge hill that goes up to the turf field. There's a turf field back at Shenandoah University. So, and he says, why don't we run up that, and then go back down. Or
No,
trick
at
on
the top we'll say we're doing our workout up here, and then we're just like, why would we do our workout up here? And then we're gonna have to run all the way back down the hill and then all the way up the parking lot.
You guys are diabolical. I love it.
Maniacal geniuses. I love it.
Yes.
I like creating. That's why I want to.
So here's why I went on that round of questioning, and then IJ, I'll hand it over to you. But guys, no matter their age, that sit down to figure out their first Q, let alone their first convergence, let alone a trifecta, 3VQ, go through the same process. They try to figure out what they can do, what they can't do, what they want to do, what they hope they can do. They get nervous about how many guys are going to be there. They get nervous about, or they get fired up about how many guys are going to be there. I imagine you guys at one point or another kind of doubted yourself. And then the other guy said, you can do this. We can do this. We got this. And I love that. Here's a pro tip, fellas. And I'm talking to the three of you, Red Rider, Nunu, and Spitball. That will never change. But when you keep surrounding yourself with guys and friends that you already have and keep those guys in your circle and find more guys like that, that's how you overcome the next hurdle. That's how you overcome the next moment of self-doubt. So the fact that you have already tapped in at your ages to the secret sauce of F3 gets me really excited about what's going to happen on Saturday for the guys, because you're going to change somebody's life, whether you know it or not. There's going to be a dad or a soon-to-be dad that's going to be on fire because of the energy you put into them. So hats off to you guys. I applaud you.
Absolutely. So I've got a question, and this one's, I'm going to go with Slim Jim on it. Slim Jim, let's say Saturday goes off swimmingly well, which we know it will. They're going to crush it. What's the potential future, maybe, working with some of the youth at the middle school where the guys are, like, what would you like to see this develop into? Not just the workout, but where can you see it going? What would you like to see happen next?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we're just on fire for seeing these. I mean, like I said, we kind of just have such a wide range of ages that we're working with. But one of the things I'm working on with some of my friends who are teachers at the school are trying to get them involved in that through and kind of EH them a little bit, nudge them to come join us, come check out what it is. And what we're trying to do is kind of get either an after school program going. Although a lot of them are involved in sports, so they're getting that workout. But I think the thing is knowing some of the coaches as well. They love the fact they're working out, staying active throughout the off seasons, if you will. And so we're trying to do that. I think some of the challenges we run into is you don't want to, we get into well, if we're doing this for all men, how can you offer that to everybody at the school kind of thing? So you run into some of those challenges, like how do you do a club or those kind of things. But we're working through them, and we're starting those conversations, and we're hoping something will get started by next fall coming up. Where
I dig it.
They have an F3, and the cool thing is the guys who are involved in our local AOs are so excited about it. They're like, "Hey, I'll give an afternoon and go and out and be a mentor and work with them." But the whole goal is really to have them lead themselves, just like we do, peer led. I mean, how impressive it is. I mean,
yep.
I was going to really value Houston's. I believe the children are our future, but I won't today.
I mean, that's 90s. That's that 1900s stuff. That's old school.
I may have to censor that part out just because that was so bad, but we'll see. All right, a last question, fellas, because I know you got practices and all sorts of great stuff to do. Plus, you've got a diabolical 3VQ to put the finishing touches on. So, dive deep into that lexicon, fellas. So, for each of you, because we always ask our guests this, why is what you're doing Saturday? Why is this something worth trying?
I feel like we, as younger people who go to F3, it's always worth trying in the future. If you want to stick with it, you'll have more experience when you're older. And I feel like it prepares you for other things that you'll have to go through when you have the opportunity to be a leader. And I feel like it can just help you become a better leader in general.
Reach.
What an answer. Yeah.
Yeah. We could drop the mic right there. Nunu, those are tough shoes to fill, but I know you got it, buddy. Why is this something worth trying?
Well, trying something new is like, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to always do it because it's your choice. So, I mean, yeah. It's
Trying something new.
It's new, yeah. It's my name. He's always willing to try something new. Yeah. Just try something new, and if you don't like it, you don't have to do it.
There you go. You never know.
Or you modify it. Yeah.
Modify as necessary. That's right. Spit or Red Rider. Same question. Why should somebody who's listening? Why should they do that? Why should they try this in their region as well?
Because I feel like it is a very fun thing, and like back in like 6th grade, me, Sam, and Tyler, me, we're all split apart and like doing our own thing. We talked occasionally, but we talked occasionally, but we were great. So we were great friends. Mentioned something to me about at 3. I said, "Oh, so why don't I try it?" Came to it, and I really liked it.
Awesome. So building lifelong friendships. I dig it, man. Well done, gentlemen. Slim Jim, we'll let you, since you started us off, we'll let you take us out. Same question. For guys who are dialed in, who are looking at the next generation, why is this stuff worth trying for them?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's the empowerment. I think sometimes, I can tell you as someone who's been out in the quote unquote working world for a long time, I think a lot of times like our younger generation sometimes gets panned unfairly. And the thing is like we know some guys who are coming from different generations. Obviously, this is a generation that hasn't even been marked yet or even titled yet. I mean, it's not Gen Y. They haven't been defined yet. And the thing is like it really kind of proves to us that they're the same things. We remember, and sometimes it's important for us to pass on to them. Hey, we remember what it was like to be your age, And I think that's what's so inspiring to me is like I can't wait to go out there and see what these 3 have cooked up for us. And it just says to me like if you like want to worry about what's going on in the future with our future leaders, what better way for this to do it? I mean, this comes right back to our mission, guys. It's invigorating male community leadership. And why not start it when they're young?
Keep going, sir. Small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leaders.
Said it better than I say it, and I teach this stuff. You killed it.
Hey, can you guys come down to North Carolina on Saturday after your workout and teach Q School?
Why not? Sure.
Why not? Well, we appreciate you guys carving out time. We wish you the best of luck. I expect a full AAR when you're done so we can see what you did to these fools. I know that you're going to sharpen iron on Saturday. And again, I barely know you, but I'm super proud of you. And we'll be pulling for you. Make sure that you make somebody cry. Okay, that's my only request.
That's your mission. Make someone cry on Saturday.
Make somebody, and they can be happy tears. That's fine too. I know your dad's going to be super proud as well. So, thank you, fellas. We appreciate you guys. Italian Job. What you got?
So I want to close out. I want to close out with something that I saw a video this week. I don't remember where I saw it, but I loved it. There's an actor named Michael Caine, Sir Michael Caine. He's a British actor. As a matter of fact, he's one of the reasons that I have the name The Italian Job, because he starred in the 1960s version of The Italian Job. And he said, I was a young actor on stage, and I had to improvise a line. But what happened was the people on stage threw a chair and it lodged the door that I was supposed to come through. And so I got to the door and tried to open it. And I said to the producer, well, I can't get in. There's a chair in my way. And the producer said, use the difficulty. He said, what do you mean use the difficulty? He said, well, if it's a drama, pick it up and smash it. If it's a comedy, fall over it. He said this line changed his life, to always use the difficulty. So he goes on to say that there's never anything so bad that using the difficulty can't be applied. If we use it only 0.25% to our advantage, then we're ahead. So I say that to say this. Use the difficulty. We don't choose all of our problems, but we do choose how we respond to those problems. Turn the problems into unexpected opportunities and use the difficulty. These young men are going to be facing a difficult proposition. There could be 60, 70 guys who are in front of them and they are leading. They are in charge. And there may be a difficulty. Use it to your advantage. So super proud of these men. Very excited to hear about what happens on Saturday at that convergence. But if you're faced with a daunting task, if you're faced with some troubles on the horizon, use them to your advantage, because the man who uses the difficulty to his advantage is leaps and bounds and miles ahead of the guy who sits back and complains. Tommy boy, that's what I got. Always an honor to spend some time with you. I love you, brother. Men that are on the call, thank you for joining us today. For the men who are listening, I hope you're encouraged by the next generation of guys who are going to be leading this country, leading this world. And I'm excited to know that we have young men in F3 who are going to change the world, and planting those seeds for the next 43 feet. So, TB, I'll let you close this, bro.
I don't have to say anything at this point other than, fellas, if you're listening, be good or be good at it. Dominate the day.
Thanks, guys.